Morning. I'm just waiting. Hopefully you can hear me. I think it's working now. Hopefully you can hear me. If anyone's watching, can you just send me a comment? If anyone's watching, just put a comment below that you can hear me. Thanks for joining. I wanted to just do a quick video for some meal ideas for next week, so not too long. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Grace and I have a blog, Happy Little Eaters, where I write about family meal times, making them less stressful, how to create more variety in kids' diets, and also how to just make one meal for the whole family, which is not always easy, but I'm just sort of thinking of ideas of how you can serve food for everyone, even if you're not eating at the same time. So I hope this is useful, and I'll keep it as short as possible. But yes, so this is all about meal planning this week, and straight afterwards I'm going to put them on my website as well. Hopefully you can, if anyone wants to comment, just to check that you can hear me. Anyway, so yes, with meal planning, I really struggle. There's just so many meals to think about in the week, and trying to make it just for the whole family. I don't know where to start. So I just thought if I did it live on my blog, I would actually make an effort today on Sunday to think of some meal ideas. I just don't know where to start with it. So hopefully this will help with you. And hopefully this is going to save you a lot of time just by watching this video. And just with my blogs all about fussy eating, and there's just so many bits of advice out there for fussy eating, but if I can just leave you with one thing, if you make one change today, I'd like to speak to you a bit about the division of responsibility. I'm not sure if you've heard about this before, heard me speak about it, but if you take away anything today, start your meal times with this approach to meal times. The division of responsibility, where your job as a parent at meal times is to provide the food and when. That's your job. So you get to decide what you're going to provide and when. And there's more to it than this, and you do this by offering a mix of familiar food and unfamiliar food. And it's your child's job to decide what they are going to eat from what you have provided and how much. So to think about it in an easy way to remember it is you provide and they decide. And that's all you need to do. And I know there's probably lots of questions out there, and I can do another video on it, but I just want to keep it short. So I always start mealtimes thinking, this is what I'm providing, and my kids are going to decide what they're going to choose from that. So hopefully that helps. So on Monday, I've got spaghetti prawns, which sounds quite grown up, but I want to focus on the point of deconstructing meals as much as possible. So you can still serve a spaghetti prawn dish, even if that sounds grown up, because you can just deconstruct it, and I'll show on my website after this how you do it. So it's a really fresh dish. You can, if your child hasn't eaten prawns before, serve a fish finger with it as well. And even if they just have the spaghetti from it, then it doesn't really matter. If you leave the meal and it's all deconstructed, then if the kids just want the spaghetti from it, they can have that. They can try some prawns, and you build up like that. And I know tea ideas are always one I struggle with, and every day seems to be a sandwich. So I've just put here today a baguette, which is a bit different to sandwich. And at least if you've got this written down, you know what you're doing every day. So tomorrow, instead of bread, I put a baguette. But again, it helps, rather than spending every day winging it. What am I going to make? Tomorrow you can do a baguette, and lots of bits and pieces from the fridge to make it a bit more interesting. Tuesday, I put a tortilla calzone. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I don't know if you've made it before, but I just saw this lady doing it online, where you get a tortilla wrap, and so it's like a pizza, but you just fill half of it, and try and do it with the kids. So you can put a bit of a pizza sauce base, so make it like a pizza, build it up, put mozzarella on it, any toppings you might want to do, and then fold it over with a fork, just lightly crimp it around the sides like a pasty, get an egg, whisk it up and just brush it over the top and put it in the oven, I think for about 10-15 minutes, so it's nice and golden looking. And I haven't done that with my kids yet. I'm not sure they'll like it, even though they love pizza and all of that. But if your kids are unsure, if you haven't got time to make it with them, then maybe just do an open tortilla pizza. So don't fold it, because the cheese can be a different texture if it's folded. So just do it like an open pizza. So that's for lunch Tuesday. Serve it with some salad on the side, and again with this whole you provide, they decide. They choose if it's there, but if you're eating with them, it doesn't really matter if they don't eat it, because you're eating it anyway. And yeah, just on this approach, I tend to, especially the holidays now, I normally have the main meal at lunch. So we have a hot meal at lunch and then something easier for tea. It just sort of works easy for us. The kids are more hungry at lunchtime. But even if you're not eating with your kids, you can still eat the same meal, but just make your calzone, but just have it later if you can't eat with them. And Tuesday tea is going to be a soft-boiled egg, a dippy egg, and it's pretty obvious, but I sort of forget about eggs and how easy they are. And if your kids are not used to eggs, if they might like scrambled eggs, they might want to make scrambled eggs with you, or do a dippy egg, or even just, even if you think they won't eat an egg, still serve it, and you could always have that for your tea later or eat with them that day, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. I just wanted to do a quick video, so I know we're all busy. But if you've got any questions, just put in the comments. Wednesday, I've got, and this will be on my website again, I've got chicken and breadcrumbs with a fresh tomato sauce and put it with pasta. I'm not going to make my chicken and breadcrumbs this week. It's impossible to cook everything from scratch, and I think it's more realistic and sustainable if you do a mix. Buy some shop bought stuff and make your own. It's just not sustainable when you've got kids to do everything from scratch, and you don't need to. So yeah, you'll see on my website later, I've put chicken and breadcrumbs. I'm going to buy them already done, and I'm going to make a fresh tomato sauce, and the recipe will be on my website. And you can make tomato sauce with tinned tomatoes, but this is using only fresh tomatoes, and I just love the taste, and the kids love this one as well. If you don't have time to do a fresh tomato sauce, you could use the pizza base sauce from the day before from the calzone recipe. So what I'm trying to do is use certain ingredients you've used from the day before to do the next day, so you're not having to cook new meals every day. So with this, I get a lot of questions about this, about your kids not eating sauce with pasta or any sauce, and actually my son, keep my voice down, my son was the same until very recently. He just turned 7, and it's probably taken about 4 years, not wanting to demotivate you, but it was just a question of just keep offering. And my kids' dietitian just said, if your kids really don't like sauce mixed in, don't offer it like that. Don't present it like that. Again, I'm really big into deconstructed meals, family style. So you just chuck it all in the middle, and they help themselves. So every time we have sauce and pasta, it's always separate, and it's up to them to help themselves. But if they're seeing you eating it, that's a really great way to keep building on that. But it might take weeks, months to do it, but it's a lot less stressful if you do it like that than constantly asking them to do it, because at the end of the day, our goal is to create happier meal times for everyone in the family. So yeah, with the sauce, just serve it separately. You could serve it in a tiny little pot on the side and say it's there if you want it. yeah, so hopefully you'll like that. The tea idea is on Wednesdays. I've forgotten about crumpets. I don't know if your kids eat crumpets. They'll probably do something more relaxed, like crumpets or a toasted bagel and a sandwich, maybe something like that for tea. Thursday, I put a pizza. Now, I either, depending how much time you have, I mean, it's just seems really simple, but it's just good to have a list of what you're doing for the week so you can go out today or Monday to get it. A pizza, if we have time, I'm really hoping to use this pizza dough. You can get it from Sainsbury's or another kind of fresh dough. Well, this is in the frozen section, or you can get them in the fresh aisle as well. Because the fun about doing your own pizza really is putting the toppings on it, I think, anyway. So, but yeah, that dough we're going to use on Thursday. I'm going to use the sauce from Tuesday for the calzone for this. So hopefully it's quick to put together. And again, on my website, I'll leave some ideas for toppings. So that'll be a pizza for lunch. You know, we always have our main meal at lunch. It just works easy that way, or you can just reverse and do it for your tea. And if you can make these, I mean, if you don't have time, don't pressure yourself to make them. It's only if you've got time and your kids are up for doing it. If not, just use a shop bought pizza. And for tea, rather than sort of like every day, I feel like I'm just doing sandwiches and I'm sort of dreading tea time because sort of the kids are moaning it's always a sandwich. So just something a little bit different. It is I use these muffin trays. It's called a tea time taster tray to make it a bit more interesting. So just fill it with just a load of bits from your fridge. It's quite a good opportunity to use anything you'd like to use up in your fridge. So sort of leftover cheese, or you could use the pasta from the day before, but when you've had the chicken and the pasta, you can just use up some leftover pasta again. So yeah, that'll be the tea idea. Just using up leftovers. Friday, I'm going to do a risotto, which again, it sounds like a very grown-up meal, and it depends what your kids are used to. My kids are used to eating this now. They're still not 100%, but it's got peas in it, or you can put whatever veggies you like in it. So it's something familiar. You might want to show your kids what you're actually doing, because it looks quite creamy, but all it is just the stock in it. If this is too much for your kids to start with, then I really like making it for myself. It's from this book, which is brilliant, and I use it for all of us and adults. If your kids are not ready for something like a risotto, I've just make it for yourself anyway. It's a really nice meal to have in the evening for yourself when the kids are in bed. And I do a lot of offering food the next day, leftovers, a mini starter when the kids are starving and they're waiting up for me. I'll say, oh hey, here's a bit of risotto I had last night, do you want to try? If they don't want to try, it doesn't matter, because what you're offering is so mini and it's a leftover. Because a lot of the worry I find is the worry of waste with food. So if you're just offering small bits here and there, you haven't had to make it especially for them, just build up like that. And I'm going to do this risotto with some leftover prawns from the Monday I'm using, some frozen fish I bought, and you know, in the supermarkets, in the frozen aisle, you can get so much brilliant frozen fish, which apparently is as good as fresh, not very expensive. Serve it with a fish finger as well. So you've got something familiar and unfamiliar. And the tea on Friday is wraps. I forgot to say, on the Wednesday when I'm doing the chicken and breadcrumbs, I'm going to make extra and use them in the wraps at tea time, cold. And yeah, do like the chicken, goujons, nuggets, put it in the wrap. So hopefully that's helping not waste food, using wraps again. I put it using wraps on the Tuesday for the calzone tortilla. So hopefully that's a nice mix of using ingredients you've already used previously in the week. I hope I haven't gone on too much. All of this is going to be on my website in the next sort of hour, just to get it all up there. I hope that's given you some ideas for the week. I'll just hang on for a minute. And if you haven't had a chance to tune in, hopefully you can just watch it or listen to it whilst you're doing some chores later. I normally take about an hour to plan my meals, so hopefully this is a quick 15 minutes for you. If you like these videos, I'll keep doing more of them. I'll just wait to see if there's any comments and then I'll sign off. Great, well, I don't think there are any messages, but yeah, get in touch if you have any questions. I'm going to put these recipes now on my website and hopefully it's helped plan your meals a bit easier this week. All right, have a nice weekend. Bye.